Now then, so before I get started, quick announcement. You may have noticed below the Legacy little tag thing. Yeah, I'm part of Team Legacy now. I've reached out to them and yeah, joined their content creation team. And pretty happy about that, to be honest. Was hoping to get involved with a team at some point, and Legacy was the only one that really came to mind. So, yeah, reached out to them, took me under the wing. Um, because know a few people on the content creation team and great little team. Got some very very successful pros. People like Tailbot, and like Danarai. So yeah, it's a really good team. Really glad to be involved, and I did also want to say a big thank you to kind of everyone who watches my videos because kind of would be possible if I had the support from everybody and everything like that. So thank you to you all as well. Couldn't be happier. Now, enough soppy stuff. We're playing a bit of Skellige today. Now, at the moment, it's an off season. Less people playing like as competitive as usually, and for some reason, I'm sat in like the top 200, which I wasn't really expecting. I've not particularly been playing too much stuff, so looking to get some scores up and run a bit of Druids because I think Reckless Flow is a decent choice, but honestly, I personally believe this is like the best deck for Skellige at the moment because there's just kind of so much going on. Um, some people go for like the Rage of the Sea and go like super greedy with like Ryogan and stuff, but I think that's too high really. Literally just needs Xavier to kind of mess it up because if you lose Ryogan, you lose a lot of the rain value. If you lose Mel, you don't really have a fallback. But this alternative is kind of amazing because you have Melusine, and Melusine is just naturally good because it's an engine that very quickly goes out of control and gives you huge carryover. If it does get answered, you really don't care because you can play Gedinith and Mushy Truffle, and basically it's all about those Croakland Druids. So potentially you can get four of these down. Every single alchemy card boosts each of them by two. So what you kind of see is if you can get Mushy Truffle, the two natural Croaklands down, and Gedinith, get all four down, you get an alchemy spell off Gedinith, get an alchemy spell off Mushy Truffle, you get another alchemy off Gedinith, you have one off your leader, and let's say you play one more. So that's five alchemy spells, boosts four druids by two each time. That's 40 points right there, plus the natural 4 points, so it's 56 points from five cards. Kind of good. It's kind of good. Um, Obviously, there's going to be a lot of games where all four don't stick. Um, but the good thing is, because Skellige are Skellige, you have a million ways to resurrect them. So you can play all four of them, and if one gets killed, you can phrase blessing it back. And when you use phrase blessing, it's an alchemy card, so the other druids are going to get boosted. Let's say they kill another one, you play your other phrase blessing, or you can play Sigdrifer's Right, or you can play your Bride of the Sea for another phrase blessing, or you can play Fugusha. Basically, they're borderline unkillable. Each of them needs to be killed twice, so unless your opponent can kill eight of these units, when you're also running a defender, you're going to get away with at least two of them. And a lot of the time, that's kind of enough. And you really don't need Melusine. And if Melusine does stick, then you've got Melusine on top of that. So it's kind of insane. And I really, really enjoy playing this list. So we'll go into the games. Um, just quickly before I do have memberships available on the channel. If you click the join button below, it gives you all the information. It's just 99p, not too much. But if you don't want it monetary route, totally fine. Things like subscribing and liking my videos and commenting and all those kind of things are just as helpful. So anything is appreciated. And I will catch you in the next one. Alright, looks like someone's had the same idea as me. We'll just have to see how it goes. Depends how they've teched theirs. We just put like a squirrel in because I think that's kind of all you need. And I'm just a huge fan of Haru Singers. Anyone who says it's not a good card is lying to you. They're lying to you. We don't really want these in round 1. And honestly, I want to throw back one of these. Probably Fuchsia. Just because it's way too expensive. Way too expensive. So we'll just pull the Covenant. But yeah, I really prefer this kind of setup with Melusine and things like that, just because it's so consistent. So consistent. Just being able to have an answer when Melusine gets answered. You know, because if you're playing against a more control heavy list and they just run, let's say they just chuck in a Xavier and Heatwave, you know, they Heatwave your Melusine and get rid of Ryogan. Don't really have like a fallback, whereas instead you can kind of have this setup which is like, even if all your graveyard stuff gets dealt with, you have other answers, quite simply. Yeah, I've really been enjoying this list, for sure. I mean, they're bringing out their Preachers early, which, I mean, I'm surprised at. I've also been running Offer into the Sea, because I think it's very strong. Do we just want to go to round 3? I don't hate the idea of just going to round 3, in all honesty. You can just take some carryover here. You know, get Melusine nice and tall. And you know, sure, they may get rid of it in the graveyard, but if they do, that's totally fine, to be honest. Because as I say, we have the other plans, and now for mulligans, we're basically looking for Bride of the Sea, Fuchsia, Geddy, Preachers, and Freya's Blessings. And we get the 3 most important ones, okay? That's pretty good. I'll say that. But yeah, I think the Crow Clan Preacher changes, because they used to be 5. Just absolutely insane. And with the combination of Mushy Truffle, because I mean, before you could get like 3 of these down with Geddy and, you know, the 2 naturally in your deck, but then that was another 2 provisions just to run that, and you didn't have a way to generate another one, whereas Mushy Truffle generates you one and gives you access to an alchemy. You know, it's too good not to run. And as good as Messengers of the Sea are, they're a little bit high rolly. And it's obviously insane if you get away with, like, if your Ryogan comes out, that's absolutely great, but a lot of the time that's just unfortunately not going to happen. So being able to have a plan B that's actually better than your plan A isn't too bad of an idea. And this is just looking close to perfect. I mean, we ideally would like another one in hand, but I mean, I'm not going to look at Gift Horse in the Mouth. This is a very nice hand. So, I think what we'll probably end up doing is we can bring back Covenant. If we bring back Covenant, we can generate a lot of rain with Fuchsia, and then Bride of the Sea can write again for Mel a little later on, because we can play like Fuchsia for like a Drakkar, for example, and that'll generate us 6 turns of rain, and if next turn we go Bride of the Sea, we can Sig Drifters again. That's exactly why I don't run the discard package. It's way too inconsistent. Way too inconsistent. Right, so we can afford to play Mushy Truffle first, obviously for Preacher, just because we want to maximise how many get hit by the Gedinith procs, because we can play Geddy, and then Bride of the Sea will trigger it, Linear will out another one, and then like from Graveyard, like a Habru or something like that. So yeah, we'll get it now.
Trust equally in heart and mind.
Brick Hotel, okay. Right, so we'll narrow that out. Then we'll probably go Fuchsia next turn. Then we'll go Bride of the Sea for two Drifters right to get Melusine.
Stand before the Queen of Skellige.
Yep, all looking good, all looking good.
Your descendants, my beloved.
And we'll bring back...
One and all.
It's whether we want that rain or not. I guess we can just pull Melusine in all honesty. We don't really need the rain, thinking about it. I'm maybe getting a bit greedy. Because we can just Bride of the Sea for like a Golden Froth. We really don't need that high roll. And we can like Freya's Blessing for like a Drakkar or something.
Bow before modern Freya.
Yep. Good Drakkar there. We obviously get the healing value, which is really nice. And we'll Delirium the Range Row as well, because no point in hitting this row. There's armor, there's Drake Hotel, we don't want to be hitting any of that. So I mean we could Freya's Blessing for just a Havru. Is it just a Havru? If we're gonna do that, we might as well trigger the rain because one of these is gonna get healed, so we actually want, because it's the one we didn't want to get healed, but it is what it is. We'll get you boosted up. As I said, these are kind of what I'm talking about. These are 4 provision cards and they've all hit 13. And there's another 3 alchemy cards coming. It's going to be quite tall.
Sacrifices must be made on both sides.
Yeah.
Show mercy, I beg you. Grant me death swift and clean.
I mean, in all honesty, we don't really want to Freya's Blessing, I don't think. Board space is becoming a bit of an issue, isn't it? But we'll be fine. We'll offer into the sea next time. It's kind of it's kind of a little bit too little too late, I think, from them. Oh, they also can't finish their Gadina. We'll go offer into the sea. Like, you can kind of see Melusine's not even been the reason why we're so far ahead. Shot of an Airden, this should be fine. Because these have generated, what's back to 47 points, and then they're going to generate another 6 from these. I'm not doing it for BM, but I am going to see how tall they actually go.
Tide rolls in, tide rolls out. It's not anything you could possibly explain.
And then go for this. Yeah. They played for what? 59 points, 3 of them. We didn't even get all 4. And 1 of them took a hit, so it was basically 60 points. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Alright, we'll have to see what this is, because I've seen like a few Sand Ritual decks floating about. There's been like the sort of self-damagey kind of archetype stuff. There's been your typical run-of-the-mill Lippy, and there's been like Melusine and like Druid's Lippy, so we'll just have to see. This isn't terrible. Okay, now it's great. Probably Lippy then, isn't it? I mean, this shouldn't be too bad of a matchup, provided we can kind of get away with what we want to do. Because we'll jam down Defender, and then we can set up a really nice cycle of, we can put down Melusine here, put Hermit next to it, and then with Havru, every time that the Hermit gets damaged by Melusine, it then heals itself, and it's a good little cycle to just set up that infinite loop. Also, another thing about the Hermit, I remember this is the card I revealed, right? Everyone said this is bad card. Why would you play this instead of Viper Witcher Adepts? Like, not Viper Witcher, sorry, Bear Witcher Adepts. It's like, this is good. Card's good. Especially when I saw like Havru Singers. I was like, this isn't a good card. Like, it's kind of really good. It's always nice to be proven right. No, I said proven wrong. This round shouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna go straight into Havru. Oh, we can go Drakkar. We'll chuck the rain down, just so that we have Bloodthirst too. Like, we're guaranteed it on this row, we're not guaranteed here because there's armor. There is a small chance that it would hit this. Just because Drakkar gets so much better. Have damaged units down. And they're very quickly running out of row space. I mean, we'll jam the raid now. They're running out of board space very, very quickly. They can't keep fighting us for this round.
For the clan! For Skellige!
Okay. We got like a 40% chance that a hit would kind of do us over here. No, I'm not taking it. Okay. That's great. Just play this down. Oh, okay. Of course we clear up row space for them. Of course. Alright. Oh, that's alright. Also pretty nice. Perfect, perfect. And Offer into the Sea should be more than enough. There's the hit onto Blue Boy, but we can't really do much about that. So, in the rare circumstance where this doesn't get burnt out of our graveyard, we do have a 22-point Melusine waiting. We can do the Geddy nonsense. This should be alright. But this is kind of what you need to do against Lippy. If you find that the matchup's a little difficult for you, you really, really, really need to win that round 1. And then just go to round 3, because what they want to do is in round 2, they want to bleed you really, really short, play out the Lippy, and so next turn, like in a really, really short round 3, they can go Ceres, and then get, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 23 points, plus the 6 from the leader, so like 29 points in one card. And I know they just banned our what's the name? But we kind of don't care. which is kind of the point I was making before about we have a plan B that's better than our plan A. Okay. Obviously we would have liked to have seen these three. Missing a lot of our res stuff, but it's okay. That's absolutely fine. Because we can Fuchsia for our Covenant, and I just now realised I put it on the wrong row, but it kind of doesn't matter because that would have hit armour anyway. Not a big deal. And we have plenty of druids, so we'll set up our preachers before we play Geddy. That's okay. That's absolutely fine. And you know, if one gets answered, then we can pull it with a Prayer's Blessing. It'll trigger the other ones, which is pretty good. So let's see if they can answer all of these. Somehow doubt it. Cool. Kind of way you can't take a short round. Now we kind of need to pray that they don't have a happy for this. Wouldn't be ideal. But you know, we can see. Doesn't look like it. I think they would have used it by now if they did. And that Curse of Corruption coming out just for the Defender is really, really good for us. Really good. So we'll Prayer's Blessing for you. Now we pray they don't have an Igni, because obviously Igni wouldn't be great. Erdem was also really hurt. Good Bride of the Sea. So that we can go damage one of these. Alright, so it's only really Erden that would scare us here. And it's looking like it is an Erden. They're counting the boosts. But it's not enough. That is not enough, Chief. Exactly why I didn't drop Marjoram straight away. Just hold it a little bit. Very nice. Even Erden isn't enough to stop a deck that goes that outrageous on the boosts. So, yeah, nice couple of wins. I think that's textbook what you need to do against Lippy as well. Keep that in mind. Anytime you play Lippy, win round 1, all costs. Try past that round 2 and take as long as possible for round. They want that short round. So, I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one.